Hello everyone, welcome back to the Linux Fundamental series. Today we'll be looking at all of the commands that we discussed in the videos previously. Okay, so we'll start with the basic commands. So the first command is ls. So in whichever directory you are, the ls command will show you all of the files and folders in that directory. So basically folder in Linux is called a directory. Okay, so I won't be using the term folders anymore. I'll be calling it directory. Okay, so when I press ls, it shows me all of the contents of this particular directory. Okay, so these are the different directories inside of this particular directory. Okay, now if you want to go into any of these directories, then we'll just say cd, which is change directory, and then maybe I want to go into desktop and then that. So how did I do that? How did I autocomplete? So I just write the first few words and then I press tab and it auto completes the name of any of these files or directories. So we press enter and we are inside of desktop, right? So we do ls here, and because there is nothing in this particular directory, so we won't see anything. So we go cd double dots. This means you go back to the previous directory. Okay, so you press enter and then we're back in this directory. Got it? Cool. So let's go into some directory which has some contents. I'm not really sure which one does. Let's see. So we are here at the moment. Does documents have anything? No. Okay, never mind. We'll create some. Okay, we'll go into documents, cd doc tab, enter. Cool. So there's nothing inside of this directory as of now. So now if you want to know where you actually are, what is your path from the root, so you just go pwd, which is present working directory. Okay, and you press enter. So you see from home you're in schema fillers and then you are in documents. That's your current path. Correct. Now if you want, like, you have a bunch of commands, you want to clear this out, you want to have a fresh slate, you just go clear and enter. So it cleans up all of that. You still have those commands in the history. When you press the upwards arrow, you can see all of the previous commands. So yeah, you still have those, but you won't see them on the screen, I think. Yeah. So now let's try to make something. So as we saw earlier that there's nothing in this particular directory, so let's make another directory inside of this. So the command for that is mkdir, which is make directory, and you give it a name. So let's go test, enter. So you made a test directory. How will we see that? With ls. So you have a test directory. Now let's make a file. Okay, this was a folder, right? Test is a folder. So let's make a file. Okay, so for that there are many editors that we have, but I'll only discuss 3 of them. So the number one is touch. Okay, this is an editor. You give it a file name. So I'm going to go in with file.txt. You can have any file.py, you can have Java files, whatever. Okay, so you go touch file.txt, enter, and it creates that file. It doesn't open it, it just creates. So when you see ls, you see the two things are inside of here. Okay, the other editor is nano. Now this opens file.file1.txt. So it creates and opens. Now this file is, if we had written file.txt, it will just open this already created file. But because this file1.txt is not created, it will just create this, and this is a test file. Cool. Then you go command. Okay, for me it's command because I'm on Mac. So command O in case of Mac and control O in case of Windows. So you see this save modified buffer, yes. So press Y, and then if you want to change the name of the file, if you want to change, you can, but I don't, so I will just press enter. So this file is created. So we have two files and one directory inside of this folder. Now the other editor is gedit, but it might not be installed. So this is the previous editor nano that you saw. It opens your file inside of the terminal, right? But gedit does not do that. Okay, so you type gedit file1.txt. Now we might need to install it. It's not already inside of this. So you can go sudo apt get ins. So this is an installer, apt get. I will explain to you this in the advanced Linux commands, intermediate Linux commands, but for now you just need to know that this, and you can write the name of the command, enter. Okay, unable to locate. Okay, so it's not able to locate, so we'll leave that, but you have this editor inside. You can have it gedit. Okay, we will see what the problem is in the intermediate Linux commands. We will definitely install this again. Okay, it says we need to update, like it gives you if there's a problem, if you need to update anything, you can do that as well. Ignore. Okay, apt update. So this command helps you update your packages and everything. So there's an error, I don't know why that is. Oh, so I'm using an old version of Kali Linux, so maybe that is why this error is showing up. So I'm trying to install the new one so that we don't see all of these errors, but you get the gist of it, right? Okay, so we'll clear all of this. Okay, now the next command that we have is now if you want to remove something. Okay, so if you want to remove a file, so we go rm, which is remove, and then the name of the file. So we'll go file.txt, enter. So you'll see that that file is removed. Now what if we need to remove a directory? Okay, so it's simple. Mkdir was for make a directory, rmdir is for removing a directory. So we have a test directory that we want to remove, and everything, like both of the files and the file and the directory are gone. Okay, so that we've seen. Okay, now echo is a command just prints, shows whatever you have printed. Sorry, I can't talk and type at the same time. Okay, so if I echo this, it'll just print hello world. That's it. Okay, so it is kind of useful in, I'll show you how. Okay, so if we go echo hello world, and then we use this symbol and we make a file do.txt. So what this will do is it'll take this hello world and save it into this new file. Okay, press enter, ls. So you have another file created, and this has hello world written inside of it. How will we see that? So there is a command called cat, okay, which shows the contents of a file. So we'll go with file1 first, .txt, sorry, enter. So this is a test file. This is what we wrote inside of that file, right? So cat file.to.txt, right? So you press enter and you can see there's hello world inside of it. So the cat command shows you the contents of a file. There's another command called zcat, and this shows you the contents of a zip file. So we don't have a zip file for now. We will be doing that later. So we will use the zcat command then. Okay, then head and tail. So for example, okay, let's edit file1.txt. Okay, and then we just write whatever is on my, okay, no, again. Okay, so we go to the next line and we write, I'll just write some gibberish for now, I don't really care. Okay, and so you see there are, let's make a few more commands. We want to perform a few operations, so I think that is enough. So yes and enter. Okay, so we've created, we have added a few lines to file1.txt. Now the commands that we want to see are head and tail. Okay, so head is for printing the first 10. So if you just write head and the name of the file 1.txt, it'll show you the first 10 lines inside of that file. Okay, so these are the first 10 lines inside of the file. Maybe they are the only lines inside of the file. Let me see. Yeah, so these are the only lines. What if we want to see only 5 lines? Okay, so we go head -n. Now these things are called flags. Okay, so they help you modify the command in order to use them according to yourself. Okay, so maybe I just want to see 5 lines, file1.txt, enter. So you just see the top 5 lines. Tail works similarly, but it shows you the bottom number of lines. Okay, so I'll go 4, I won't go 5. Okay, file1.txt, and it'll show you the bottom. We had a cat, right? Yeah, so it shows you the bottom 4 commands. Yeah, for bottom 4 lines. Great. So this is how head and tail works. So this helps when you're looking at log files maybe. Okay, so you can, if you have a log file and you want to see only the latest, you know, the last logs that have, because a log file is edited continuously, right? You can't be seeing all of that lines of data. Okay, so you can just go tail 1. Okay, and it will only show you the latest added log if that's something that is required. Okay, so now we already saw clears the terminal. Okay, then we have cp. Now for example, okay, so we have these 2 files in here. Okay, and let's see it visually instead of Yeah. Okay, so I'm inside of documents and I've created two files inside of documents, but I want one of that file inside of desktop as well. Okay, so you'll able to see the file here. Okay, so the command for that is cp, which means copy cp, and then you write the name of the file that you want to copy, file1.txt. Okay, and then you write the location. Okay, so you, let's see if we can do dot dot, because I'm not really sure we can we? Oh yes, we can do dot dot. So dot dot means the previous, like the previous directory. Okay, so we were inside of documents, so the previous directory for this would be here, right here, schema fillers folder. So you saw that this file was pasted here and it is still there inside of documents. Okay, so it was copied. Cool. So if we want to do it inside of this, okay, so what we'll do is we'll go to documents and we'll copy the path from here. It's very simple. Okay, and instead of these we will paste selection. Cool, and then enter. So it is inside of desktop as well. Okay, so this is how you copy. Now the other command is move. If you don't want to copy, you just want to move a file. So I'll remove. Okay, let's move file to .txt. Okay, where do we want to move it? We'll move it to desktop again. So we just go in with paste selection. Oh, it's not there. Let's leave it. Great. So file 2 is moved. Now should it be inside of documents? No. So it's not there inside of documents. It's only in here. Okay. Now let's see if you want to rename a file. Okay, so you still have file 1.txt. How will you rename a file? Okay, this you will use one of the commands that I taught you until now, and if you're able to guess the answer, great, but if not, I will let you know. So mv, okay, if you want to rename file 1.txt, and you can just go in with like test.txt and it will rename your file. Okay, so what it does, it takes this file and it moves it into this new file. Okay, and it is because it's in the same location, right? So it removes the content of this file into this file, so it renames. Okay, pretty simple. Cool. So now there is another command called wc. Okay, so it requires another output after it. So wc and file one, oh no, we renamed it text.txt. Okay, so what it'll do, it gives you the word count. Okay, so it gives you 10, which is the number of lines that this file has. 17 is the total number of words inside of this file, and then you have 1010, which is the number of bytes inside of this file, and you have this. Okay, let's go to a location cd dot ls. We are inside of this cd desktop. Okay, now we have two files here, so we can go wc file 1.txt and file 2.txt. okay, so it will give you the word count for both of the files. Okay, so file 1, 10 lines, 17 words, 109 bytes, and then you have one line, 2 words, because it was hello world, right, and 12 bytes, and total is this much. Okay, so you can do it for multiple files. You can add as many files as you want for wc. Then we have ln. Sorry. So as I don't know if you remember, but we saw the command, we saw links, right? So we are inside of desktop. We go cd dot and then we go to documents. Okay, so we are in the documents folder. So dot was basically go to the previous directory and then after that go to the documents folder. Okay, so here we come and we saw ln was linking. Okay, so if I want to create a link for this file inside of my documents, because here we do not have any file 1 or file 2.txt. okay, so I want to create a link to these two files inside of my documents. So if I go to my documents, if I click on that link, I will be directed to the contents of this file. How do we do that? We do that by ln. Okay, so there are two types of linking, which one is hard linking and other one is soft linking. Hard linking is basically, we already discussed in the video previously. So hard linking, if you have this file and you create a link to this file here in documents, okay, if this file is deleted, the link will still have the contents of this file. Whereas in a soft link, if you delete the file, if I create a soft link to file 2.txt and I delete this file, the soft link won't have a connection to that file. Okay, so okay, let's see how it works. So link dot dot, then we go into desktop. This I'm giving it the location of file1.txt. okay, simply enter. Okay, so we see there is a link. Let me check. I think I just copied that file for now. Okay, no, that's not what we want. Okay, so rm file1.txt and we remove it. Okay, we need to give it a name. We need to give the link a name. I did not give it a name. Okay, so this, and the name is hard link. Let's see. Okay, yes, so we have a hard link here. Okay, so cat hard link. So you see the contents of this particular file. Okay, now I'll create a soft link. So for soft link, the flag that they use is okay, I'll rename this as soft link, and this is the flag that we use for a soft link. Okay, so -s and enter. Oh, okay, so it created for the same file, no problem. So we have a soft link and we have a hard link. Okay, now what if I delete, one sec. So I think I created the hard link in a wrong way, because there has to be a flag here. So let me try it again. All right, so I will remove this hard link. Okay, let's not remove this. We'll see the difference if, we'll use another flag for hard link, and yep. Okay, so we'll use this flag for hard link. Okay, there's nothing, a file exists. Okay, hard link 1. Great. So it created a hard link for, yeah, great. So now let's see. Okay, so there is a hard link 1 file, and okay, it's the same. I thought the color, because the color of a soft link changed, right? So I thought it would change too. So no, it doesn't. Cool. So I'm just going to remove hard link 1 and enter. So we just have the hard link and the soft link. Cool. So sometimes you need to like search around with commands and stuff. No problem. Okay, now what if I delete this file? Delete. Okay, now let's see. The soft link has become red, so we can't, if we cat soft link, we won't see anything. No such directory found because it's deleted, right? But if we look at hard link, we'll still see the contents of the file. Okay, so these are some commands that you should know. Okay, and these are important. So another command is difference. So we have removed a file. Let's create a new file, nano file3.txt, enter. Okay, and we just write some gibberish inside of this as well. I don't know, I just like writing gibberish. Yes, enter. Okay, so we have two files, file3 and file test, right? So I want to see what the difference between these two files are. So I'll use the command diff, and then I'll write the name of the files test and file3, enter. So it shows you the difference. Okay, it shows you the difference between these two files. Okay, you can't do it for 3 files, you can just do it for 2 files, but you get the gist of it, right? And then we have ps, which shows you the processes that are running, the major processes that are running. There's another command called top. This shows you all of the processes, like even like the hidden processes that you need not know. Okay, it shows you all of those as well. Okay, whereas ps, let me get out of this. Okay, ps only shows you the commands. Okay, great. So I think there's another command called cut. So I don't remember the format for this. Okay, cut help. If you wanna see If you don't remember any of the flags for a command, you can just go command and help, and there's another way of doing it, man, which is manual. So it will again show you this. Yeah, okay, so cut, this shows you bytes. Okay, so B for bytes, C for characters. Okay, so let's try this. Quit. Okay, clear, cut bytes 1 to 4 for the test file. Okay, so it cut all of the 4 characters of, you know, the first lines of all of the lines. Oh my god, you get the point. I don't know how to say that. Okay, so you cut, and now we'll see the characters. Okay, so 1 2 4, I want to show you the difference. Okay, and test, so it does the exact same thing. Okay, it cuts the first 4 characters. So this is why it is cut. You can explore all of the other flags that are there inside of this, but this is what it does. Okay, so that is for our basic Linux commands. I hope you found this video helpful. We will look at more commands in the intermediate and the advanced video, practical video. So stay tuned for that, and see you. Bye bye.